Hey there, it's John Fleischman with SoDoesItMatter.com, where we ask that question about California politics every single day. If you're not already a free subscriber at SoDoesItMatter.com, sign up. And normally, this feature that we do every week, the worst week in California politics, is behind our paywall for our premium subscribers. But this week, it's available to you as a gift associated with the June 2nd election. So, without any further ado, we're going to have two bronze medal winners, one silver medal winner, and one gold medal winner for worst week in California politics, worst loser in the June 2nd election. Bronze winner number one is San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan. This is somebody who got into the race thinking that there was bandwidth for a true ideological moderate candidate. He thought that he would make the case that California is broken and he could fix it because he's got good experience, hands-on, he's a good technician, he'll get stuff done. His problem is his message was muddied by the fact that he has horrible delivery. It was like being told that you can get whatever you want as long as you're willing to eat a lifetime supply of oatmeal or vanilla pudding. Wasn't very inspired at all, and in fact had kind of a weird message, which is, I'm a left-wing progressive, but I want to implement things in a common sense way. Very muddied, very confused. Well, the message fell flat. Not only did he raise millions of dollars, but supporters of his raised multiples more millions of dollars, spent it all, and this guy limped into the June election, getting between 3 and 4% of the vote. Pathetic showing, very bad week, a very bad outcome in the June election for Matt Mahan. We'll see what he comes up with next. The other Bronze Award winner goes to State Senator Marie Alvarado Gil. She currently represents the 4th State Senate District, which is just below Stockton area, up into the foothills of Central California. And she represents a district that is very Trumpy, but in 2022, she and another Democrat went into the election when 5 Republicans battled each other out in this new open seat. And so when that happened, she got elected, and then ultimately she decided to re-register as a Republican. Some people would tell you it was a heartfelt conversion. Other people would tell you, of course she changed, because she could never get reelected in that Trumpy district as a Democrat. Change she did, and she brought her case to the voters. It was an expensive battle between herself and Alexandra Duarte, the wife of former Congressman Duarte, and the voters decided. Alvarado Gil lost. Duarte is now the Republican nominee in this very Trumpy seat. She'll be headed to the state Senate, and Alvarado Gil will be able to, I guess, become a Democrat again if she wants. Anyway, so she's the other bronze winner. Now we move to the Silver Award winner, and the Silver Award are people trying to raise taxes. Because one of the untold stories so far in the June election is how many tax increases around the state went down. We're talking about in places like San Francisco, where a new tax tied to CEO compensation failed by double digits. We're talking about the city of Oakland defeated a tax. Contra Costa County defeated a healthcare tax. The city of Los Angeles defeated a tax increase on hotel taxes. They don't even want to tax the people coming to visit. Down in San Diego, a tax on empty properties or investment properties or second vacation homes, that was defeated. And it's a wobbler as I record this as to whether or not a sales tax in Los Angeles County, it was either going to fail or pass by the thinnest of margins. Either way, it does not augur well for proposals like a billionaire tax in November or extending the state's income tax in November. So tax increases were losers, but the biggest loser by far, can you guess? Tom Steyer. Yes, the billionaire huff and puff, always operating at a pulse of greater than 150. Tom Steyer has managed to once again run for office, spend a crap ton of money, and lose, although this time he came closer. This is a guy who spent over $200 million making the case that he was the billionaire who could take on the billionaires. That doesn't really sound very authentic. So Steyer was running as some sort of left-wing crazy man. Not only was he very left-wing in how he talked about the issues, but he carried himself as somebody who was so strident that you really almost wanted to step back from him because he freaked you out. Anyways, he's going to fall short, and he's not going to be in the runoff for governor. This is a guy who made his money partially with investments in oil and other carbon emitting activities. He was an owner of private prison companies and other things. Anyways, and then I guess at some point, consumed with loathe and self guilt and self loathing for all of the money he made, he decided to donate his body to the progressive cause. But it didn't work. He fell short again. And I guess Xavier Becerra, who is the Democrat who did go on to the general election, is laughing all the way about it. Anyways, Tom Steyer had the worst week in California politics and was the biggest loser in the June 2nd election. We'll be back next week for more winners and losers of the week and this very important video on the worst week in California politics. Sign up at sodoesitmatter.com and we'll just keep chronicling the burning of Rome here in California. See ya.